Alrighty, mealtime everyone, and welcome to LA, or to be more precise, welcome to the LA International Airport. I am not saying welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator, although we currently are in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the reason is that today I want to do things a little bit differently. XP12 has been released a couple of days ago, or maybe a week ago or so, and I want to compare it to Sims, so I thought it's probably a good idea to do a couple of flights first in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and then do the exact same flight under the same conditions in X-Plane, and then see what the differences are in the two sims. Now, we need for that, of course, a plane that is available in both sims. And I think that would be probably the 737, but then I would have to buy the PMDG 737, and I would have to learn the 737 again, because I used it the last time, like a couple of years ago. So I dusted off the trusty LVFR A319, and we're using this one. I got my hands on the Tolis A319 for X-Plane 12. I think they had their A319 ready before X-Plane 12 was officially released, like during the beta phase or something like that. They were really quick. So we can compare these two planes, these two add-on planes, and then compare the two sims. And yes, as you can also see at the bottom left here, that there's a afterburner running to track some performance. This is also something that I want to compare, of course. One more thing before we get started in terms of performance. I am currently at 4K Ultra settings. As you can see, general options, graphics, yes, 4K, and then everything on render scaling resolution 100. No idea what that is. NVIDIA Reflex low latency, no idea what that is. I don't have any frame generation rubbish on. I just have everything to ultra except for the motion blur. I turned this off. This is annoying to me. I don't like that. Now you might wonder that I'm complaining. I was complaining that my PC was not running fast enough. I had stutters and everything. So the reason why I'm able to running this now is I have a new PC, and we're going to do a lot of benchmarks and stuff with all the other games that I had on my channel, all these space games, but not today. Today is just about these two flight sims, and performance is an issue, or is a thing that I want to look into. That's why I put in the afterburner here. One positive thing about that is that I can now record the mouse cursor again, and you can actually see it again at the correct position. This is a nice thing. So that was due to the fact that I had a 4K monitor and was running the sim at 1440, and this somehow confused the old LVFR bug. This somehow confused the OBS, and then they recorded the mouse cursor at the wrong position. But this should be a thing of the past now, hopefully. Welcome back to LA, and welcome to X-Plane 12. Yeah, this is what it looks like in X-Plane. I don't really have a free camera or anything that I can show you around. Hey, look, there's another Air American. Yes, Airbus A319. This is the Airbus in question that we are talking about, the Tolis A319. Now, I couldn't find a livery for that. I found an EasyJet livery, but it didn't really work. It kind of messed up all my interior buttons and stuff. So if anyone has a cool download page or whatever with liveries for the Tolis A319, let me know. For now, this standard livery will do. It's actually not, can I get closer? Yes, like that. Okay, that's nice. I like it like the, it's a little bit dirty like the LVFR livery. This has the same engines, and we're using the CFM engines. But if we go to the flight deck, you will see what the difference is. There's a huge difference. But first of all, there's, a little bit of difference in the optical presentation or in the graphics, of course, from X-Plane. And as you can see, the airport doesn't really look that bad, but the weather effects, the clouds don't look really that great. And we have a lot of aliasing, and I do not hear any environmental sounds. Yeah, no idea what that's all about. Okay, so as you can see, the performance is Well, yeah, pretty similar actually. But my GPU seems to be seems to be more stressed than in Flight Simulator, at least at the airport here. CPU is idling basically. A lot of RAM usage, not as much VRAM usage. Yeah, again, frames are fine. Better, I think. At the airport, I was down to like 40 with Flight Simulator, so that looks okay. You can see that there's a lot of aliasing here down at the stairs back here. If I like turn, you can see that aliasing is the one thing that has the biggest impact on performance in X-Plane. This is something that I learned. Like I can like turn this stuff up, and then it does this. And then you can see I have like 20 frames per second. But the aliasing at these stairs back there is now gone. That's great, but I don't really care that much about aliasing if it impacts the performance so much. So that's why I found that the settings 2 here is the best, because then you still got some headroom for when shit hits the fan. So but last time I changed the alias setting, it effed up my interior cockpit of the Tolis as well. So let's see if it did this time. Yes, it did again. You can see now the buttons and switches look weird. But last time when I go and I put it to FXAA, and then they were back to normal, and then I put it back to 2 times, and then it stays normal. Okay, anyway. Yeah, let's get started. Let's start up this LVFR. I already
Los Angeles clearance delivery AAL5
filled in
55
everything.
Alpha
this is
Alpha
correct.
976
So
IFR to
this
San
can come
Francisco,
on.
ready to copy. AAL5 55 Alpha Alpha 90876 is cleared to San Francisco Airport as filed.
All right.
Takeoff runway 7 left, climb and maintain 6,000 feet.
So now we can turn this guy off for now and do our flight preparations. Okay, this looks good. This looks good. Cost index is 5. Okay, 5. Woohoo! Flight level 340. That's okay. Flight plan from, what did he say? 7 left. 7 left. Okay, then what departure do we do? Okay, we're going directly north, and then, yes, that looks perfect. Okay, never mind. Go back to ARC. And then let's continue. Performance transition altitude in the US is 18,000. Altitude actions in my 1. Flexing temp is irrelevant because we're using Toga. We cannot do some real performance calculations because this mod does not have anything like that. Okay, RedNav is okay. Performance needs second page. This is okay. Performance is okay. Alrighty, then let's turn on the APU. Can see frames purge now, really. Memory usage is high. Even the video memory usage. I said the textures of these are pretty much used for performance, but you can see if it has to load them, the memory usage is pretty high. The video memory from the graphics card, although the graphics card isn't really doing a lot. 61%, that's really nice. Mr. Avail, APU bleed is on. This goes off. Do we have anything connected? Anything open? Nope.
Ground AAL5 55 Alpha Alpha 90876 requesting pushback. AAL5 55 Alpha Alpha 90876 pushback request accepted.
Welcome to the interior of the Tolis. We're going to, the way these pre-configured views work, like this and this, this and this, all that stuff, is a little bit different here and explain. You press the control key and then a number on the numpad, and that stores the position you are currently in at this num key. And then if you hit the num key without control, without any other key, just the num key, then it goes to the position that you stored. So that's a little bit different, but it's okay. It's very nice. You can configure everything this way. That's also very nice. As you can see, this panel looks different than in the LVFR. The LVFR was basically an A320neo panel. This looks different. This looks different even from the fly-by-wire and everything, because this is modeled after a real A319, and the fly-by-wire is of course also with the A320neo. Now there's a fly-by-wire script for the LVFR A319, but that of course uses then the fly-by-wire interior. So none of these are a real depiction of the A319 cockpit, except for this one here. Other than that, there isn't really a lot of mystery to it. We go through it, how you start it up. Can turn this down for now. Turn on battery 1, turn on battery 2, of course. It sounds different, it looks a little bit different. And then go to the external power, of course. Now all this stuff works again here. You can arm the emergency exit light, you can put on the cruise supply, turn on the nav aids so they can align. You can do your fire test here. So all that stuff works. Put a nav and logo. Now, best thing is to start one thing that's important. There is no ATC here, or at least I haven't found any. But I like it that way, so I leave it like that. Again, you can see aliasing is a really big problem here. Yeah, so this is that, and you have your exterior views here. You can look around. Again, no idea what's going on with the sound. But let's see how this is going. And while the IRRs are going aligning, I am setting up the weight imbalance. Now, this is the flight path, something like you have in the fly-by-wire or something like that. But there isn't really a lot of the stuff that is working here. You have only this, and I don't even know if this is important for something. What you have instead is you have a plugin sections, Tolis in this ISCS screen. Yes, I know. If the developer, if Tolis watches this, then please change the color setup of this. This is really awful. Okay, you do your load up stuff here. Now, okay, I go into SimBrief and look what we are using. We have a block fuel of 5.9. So you scroll this, and then we have cargo 3.5 tons. 3.5 is 1.7 and 1.8. So let's do that. And then we have a number of passengers, not a weight. So we have 140 passengers. We can dial that in directly here, 140. And now you can say quick refuel, defuel, and apply these settings. And then it's not here. Okay, then you have to do this and this. I'm not really sure if you really have to do that. I mean, I think it's just a display or anything, like, doesn't really matter. What matters, of course, is what is here in this MDCU. You can see a nice touch is that you can see the reflections from the ceiling here in these. Also in these displays you have reflections here, and in these. That looks really good. That looks really good. I have to admit that. Okay, then let's dial these guys a little bit up and turn this a little bit up, and oh no, let's turn it a little bit down. Okay. Okay, then this is right. We do not have any connection to SimBrief here. Not a connection to SimBrief, not a connection to Navigraph. So we have to do it all manually. So we are going from KLAS to KSFO. Correct, and flight number is AA9876, something like that. Cosinax was just 5, ugh, and the cruise was 340. And now we can go to the flight plan. Okay, again, there is not a real flight plan for this short distance. I'm not really using a complex flight plan. I just choosing a departure. We departed last time from runway 7L. We're doing the same thing. Now here's a cool thing that you can do here. You can turn this to plan. Now this is visible here. You can pop this out, enlarge this a little bit, go back to 5, and then you can look what it's like. You have to put this aside. Gorman 7. Please none. Insert Tempe. Why do I get this manual in here? No idea. Never mind. We use this. Clear this one and then insert Tempe. Then we're just using that one. I will 28 left via Faith. Okay. Insert Tempe. Then let's check. Yes, this is very good. Yeah, I cannot get the departure to work properly, but okay. Can put this away. Done all of our weight rubbish, so we can go in its second page and then we can put in the values that we see here. Okay, 58.3 and 27.2. 27.2. BF is 5.9. And then all that stuff is happening. Okay, no. Please go away. Thank you. Oh, okay, we can align. They don't align themselves. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to press align. Then you can see these coordinates. And then they are aligned. Performance. Okay, now you need the tool again. And then there's a performance here. Now you select what flaps you would like to have. Packs are on, flexo temp 67. Then we have these values here. So we have flaps 1 up 0.5. Flex to temp 67. Yeah, no thrust reduction, anything. Transition altitude is 18,000 is correct. 141, 141, 144. Speed bugs, and then we are done. Wait. Then we are done with that. Progress we can KSFO 28 left. And yeah, that's all very good. Yeah, then we are all done here. So now we can then go up here and turn on the beacon light, start the APU. This works well, yeah, pretty much similar to the fly-by-wire. There it is, and then you can start it. We can put these guys on as well. You can see there's the heat distortion animation, very nice, and it chews away some frames. Okay, and 100, whoop, there it is. It says wait, turn the APU bleed on, turn the external power off. We are all loaded, so we can turn on the fuel pumps. Let's release the parking brake. Put the engine mode selector into ignition. Ooh, that's pretty close. Okay.
Ground AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er876 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right. AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er876, your request has been transmitted to the operator.
Okay, then let's right. Start engine number 1. I'm using this livery now because these are the CFM engines, and the last time I flew this with the United, they used the IAE engines. Oh wait.
Ground AAL555
So we get a chance to hear these.
Requesting the end of pushback. AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er876 request to end pushback received.
Sound nice. Love these heat distortion effects. Okay, this one good engine start. Let's start engine number 2. Okay, let's do some taxi preparations. Flaps 1, downspeak are armed. Taxi light. Beacon light. Oh, I should have already put that on. Okay. Then let's taxi. Do a pushback. That's also a thing that is kind of complicated. Okay, let's go back to this and then go back to this. Okay, now we have to tell the pushback, which is done with this tool again here. And we have to tell external power can come off and the chocks can come off. You see, you have a distance and you have a rotation. So we want the tail to go right. About, what is it? It's not exactly perpendicular. It's like 100 degrees, let's say. And the distance is, the aircraft is, I think, about 30 meters long. So let's say 40 meters. Okay, then let's close all of our doors. I think they're probably already closed, but just to be safe. And then start pushback manual. No, start auto pushback. Then the pushback tug will come. And there it is. And the park brake doesn't really work with my throttle quadrant. The flaps work, the speed brakes work, but I had to put in the reverse. So I had to put it in reverse for it to work. The thrust lever works pretty perfect. Oh, yeah, should start an engine here. We are already pushing out. Now it should turn us tail right. Didn't I say that? Yes. Okay, but I was wrong about the distance. Should have put in way less. But the engine comes to life. What do you say about that? sounds good. And looks good. Looks really nice, I have to say. I don't like this shadow stuff here. Don't know what's going on there. Okay, now it wants us to set the parking brake again. Now it worked. Okay. And we have one good engine start, and we can start engine number 2. And then we can do some taxi preparations as usual. This goes to and this goes to on, this goes to spawner. We can turn these guys on. Flaps in takeoff position, speed brakes armed and set to max. And then we can do flight control check, and there's a problem. Now I'm going back and I'm going forth and that stuff, and that's all fine. But when I roll left and roll right, you will notice that the rudder is linked to that. Then we can deactivate it, but then you don't have any rudder at all. I currently have my third axis set to the front wheel tiller, and I cannot set it to the rudder. So I don't know if that's a thing for the plane or if that's a thing of the sim itself. I think if you have rudder pedals, then it will be fine. But now it's not really. This is going to be a problem if you are on the runway and flying, accelerating and that stuff, because you lose control over your front wheels and then you go somewhere else. Okay, seatbelt sensor on. We can, engines are on. Yes, then we can turn off the APU, taxi light, run return light.
Ground AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876 with Golf ready to taxi IFR. AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876 taxi to and hold short of runway 7 left via taxiway Charlie 7 Charlie Charlie 10 Bravo uniform. Contact tower on 13 decimal 9er when ready. Taxi to and hold short runway 7 left via taxiway Charlie 7 Charlie Charlie 10 Bravo uniform AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876.
I love these textures. They look like a little bit used and dirty. This is really cool. Okay, then let's taxi.
Los Angeles Tower AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876 ready for IFR departure runway 7 left. AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876 altimeter tree 0.21 wind 0 tree 8 and 5. Cleared for takeoff runway 7 left. Cleared for takeoff runway 7 left AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876.
Then let's taxi to runway 7L, which is, you can show a map here. The integration isn't, of course, as nice as it is in, hey, look, an aircraft carrier. So we're going out and then to the right. Okay, well, that should be easy enough. And we are rolling. I think we have to go this way. Takeoff config. Normal cabin check. Okay, then let's go 7L. Okay, stop here. Oopsie daisy. Okay. Good, and take this on, this, and this, and this, and we don't need this. Okay. Of course, I just barely touched them. They go immediately to like 40-50%. Chronometer's running anyway. Let's head on through 7L. And then let's do Toga. Oh, these engines sound nice. Yay! Oh wow. Okay, airspeed's alive. 80 knots. Okay. V1. Rotate. And then gear up.
EAL555 Alpha Alpha 90876 contact Los Angeles Center on 132.85. Good day. Going to 132.85 AAL555 Alpha Alpha 90876. Los Angeles Center AAL555 Alpha Alpha 90876 is passing 1,400 feet, climbing 6,000 feet. EAL555 Alpha Alpha 90876 Los Angeles Center altimeter tree 0.21 continue as planned.
Having a flight director will help. Oh boy. Okay, I'm wondering a little bit about my low GPU usage. Like, it's not much, but the frames aren't that high, so not really sure what's going on there. It doesn't really seem like I'm a CPU bottlenecked, because the CPU is only used for 20%, and it's not really overheating. And now the frames are okay because I'm staring at the ground, but fly over LA here. Oh, it's okay. Well, now my GPU usage goes up and my FPS goes up as well. Okay. That's very odd. Hey, look, the SoFi Stadium. Or the construction site of the SoFi Stadium. And then let's head on out of here. Park brake? No, it didn't work this time. Okay. Promise you sit a little bit too high, so you cannot really see your instruments. But seeing the instruments would be very good if you try to see your speed box, for instance. Okay, this is what a runway looks like. Okay, then let's flex. Ooh, these engines sound nice. Yes. I feel like we're tilted somehow, but maybe that's just 80 knots. I cannot control the wheels anymore. This is what I meant. Now I'm getting off. I can use my roll though. to do that, but then I risk V1, rotate. So I'm kind of glad that we gear up. And then we are rocking out of LA. To be careful. If you cross S speed, yes, the flaps in and climb a little bit. Don't use too much. Well, I'm losing too much speed. This is not good. I'm getting an A floor. No. Okay, better. Lever climb. I forgot to put on my TCAS. Yes. Okay, let's go to the autopilot and then I'm always forgetting something. Yeah, damn. You can see some limitations of this photogrammetry stuff that Flight Simulator uses. Like you can see these buildings here, they just look, I don't know, like not really like buildings. The same for these trees, or like here, that stuff. The stuff that's directly below us is of course totally fine. Wow. It looks nice. It looks nice. There's no getting around that. Okay, 70 frames per second and a high GPU usage. Now everything seems to be fine. Temperatures are okay. 65 degrees for the GPU and the CPU. That's totally okay. For 75 FPS at 4K Ultra. And this is what LA looks like in X-Plane. Yeah. A brown village. Hey, mind you, there are some buildings in the background. The engines sound really nice, I have to say that. But the clouds don't really look nice, and oh, hey, there's another airport. But everything, let's get inside. But I have to say, everything looks a little bit cleaner and sharper. The Flight Simulator has a tendency, the textures look very blurry, and everything else as well. If I can zoom in here, these houses, they don't use these, they don't become these weird shapes. They stay like houses because they are buildings. Yeah, that's a difference, but all in all, it is a little bit uglier. I have to admit.
EAL555 Alpha Alpha 90876 contact Los Angeles Center on 125.8.
Okay, turn off these guys.
125.8 AAL555 Alpha Alpha 90876. Los Angeles Center AAL555 Alpha Alpha 90876 is passing 10,600 feet, climbing 12,000 feet.
EAL555 Alpha Alpha 90876 Los Angeles Center altimeter tree 0.21 continue as planned.
Let's do the usual. Turn these guys off. This stays on, this stays on. Seatbelts stay on for now. And the altimeter stays on for now as well. Until we reach the transition altitude. Again, so nice that the ATC isn't barking at me every 3 seconds. And so you are very wrong. Okay. Oh yeah, the good old LVFR interior. With all these people. Textures are okay, I think. Not the best, not the worst. Let's see what the Tolis looks like. I think the seat is... Okay, never mind. Yeah. Yeah, these textures are pretty good actually. They are not that bad. You have aliasing here. These displays don't look really this great. Now you can move through your plane with, you can move forward, so that's a difference between this and Flight Simulator, but only very slowly. And then if you can see, I don't know if I talked about it already, the textures here. Yeah. Pretty blurry. I mean, it's a cabin, it's okay, but if you can, like, I think in the LVFR it was a little bit better. It was, yeah, I think a lot better. Yeah, these windows, the model, the textures, oh, it's not very good. Not very good, no. Okay, then let's look at performance. 73 FPS. Memory usage is pretty high. This is basically the same as it was in Flight Simulator. I'm going to the exterior view. 70 frames, 80 frames. Memory usage 12, 14. I think this was almost exactly same values. Interesting. It's very noisy. It's noisier than the I have to say the landscape as such doesn't look that bad. I mean, these mountains and hills doesn't look that bad. The clouds and the sun, they don't really look good. That looks way better in Flight Simulator, and for some reason everything's brown here. Or maybe that's the reality of the things, but plane looks good though, and sounds good. It sounds really good. Don't hear that much of this inside though. Never mind. Okay, then we are in climb phase. We are still climbing. And we are, okay, how did this work here? Like that, okay. Should go to standard, this is fine, and we can turn the seatbelt signs off. A 5-degree climb should be alright. Okay, the rest looks good. Yeah, this is nice. This is nice to have an A319 that works really well. Really, that is this complex in its simulation, that everything works, every button, every switch. And I noticed that the sound of these switches are really, I really like this. I don't know if you can hear that. I can do it maybe when we are parked somewhere, but this is. I hope I don't turn something important off. Even this. Okay, did I make... Oh, wow. Let's pretend it didn't happen. What a beautiful day in California. Ah, yeah. Yeah, you can see these clouds are pretty ugly. Yeah, they don't look anywhere near as good as in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I mean, you just saw the flight that we did. It's a big difference, in my opinion. But there's one thing that I can do here that I cannot do in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that's this.
AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876 descend and maintain flight level 260.
Descend and maintain flight level 260 AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876.
So there are a couple of things that you have to consider. First of all, since you don't have an ATAC, they don't tell you when you have to start your descent. But as you can see, you have in your flight plan, you have a TC and a TD. That's top of climb and top of descent. This is the top of climb is, of course, when you reach your cruising altitude. This will be in, I don't know, when this blue arrow, 21, 23, 22 miles, 22, 21, exactly. And then in 93 miles, then there's a top of descent, which means this is where we start our descent. Now at Faith we need to have 7,200, and at this waypoint, whatever that is, we have to have 10,000. So that's at these 7,100, then we start chasing the green dot speed. 7,000. This is why you can see you have the speeds here. So yeah, what else can I say? What else can I say about this sim and this aircraft? Yeah, I like it. I like that we have an A319 in a sim that this has this level of complexity. It's very expensive though. It costs like $90. And the LVFR that we just flew was only, I don't know, 25. So, I don't know if it's fair to compare these two, but yeah, you can have that in X-Plane. And for now, I just have to say, I really like it. I really like this plane. I like this. The displays are having a reflection, and I like that all the buttons work and all the switches work and all that. And that's really great. Not really sure. This flypad is pretty poor, and the entire sim integration, that you don't have SimBrief, you don't have Navigraph. This is also very bad. You can also have from Tolis the A321, and you can have the A321 just as LVFR. They also offer an A321, and but unlike LVFR, you can have the A321 CEO and the A321 Neo. One is the A321 and one is the add-on for the add-on. So yeah, this is how that works. But you can have all that also here. Again, I'm not really happy with these visuals. It's an improvement over XP11, a lot of improvement. It's really, really good, and we will have all these add-ons. We will have our X-Enviro and Active Sky and all whatnot. They're all going to improve all that. But you can see even the lighting on the ground is pretty flat. A little bit hazy. Gee, this plane looks so good.
AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er876, you are 69er miles southeast. Maintain present heading and altitude, expect ILS runway 19er left approach via Charlie Charlie Romeo transition. Circle to land runway 10 left. Cleared to Charlie Charlie Romeo.
Charlie Charlie Romeo.
Altitude, expect ILS runway 19er left approach via Charlie Charlie Romeo transition, circle to land runway 10 left. Cleared to Charlie Charlie Romeo AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er876.
Temperature 12, 30, 32. Not that any of that means anything here. Okay, let's see. Charts. Approach. ILS. ILS ILS out MD8 300 289er.
AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er876, descend and maintain 10,000 feet.
Yes, sir.
Descend and maintain 10,000 feet AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er876.
Turbo descent is... yeah, close enough. Then let's dial in 10,000. Okay, then let's enter destination data. What do we have? Okay, let's have a look at Navigraph. KSFO information weather 13 minutes ago, that's good. Now the wind is at 60, jeez. That's still fine. Okay, 30:26. Temperature is 13. It's not that bad. 60 at 5. Temperature is not, that's correct. MDADH. We don't use them because we want to use auto land. ZGNM Faith 7300. Isn't that the one that is the next listed here? So we should go to 7300 then. Okay. These sounds are really great. I absolutely like that. Pretty bad weather here in Bay Area. Okay, the constraints should keep us in check. Flight plan. Bum, 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 bum. 1800 at duet. We are capturing the glide slope at 1800, so we can go to 1800. Because the constraints should keep us in check. Okay, now at the decel point it should start lowering the green speed to green dot speed, correct. And as soon as the restriction is lifted, we should sink further and then grab the glide slope at what was it called? Shark's Shake at 2800 exactly. And then there we should start the ILS approach. No idea what the plane is doing at the moment though. Okay, now we should see a speed bug here. At the decel point, and there it is. And now we have to chase this one.
EAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876, you are 19er miles northeast of San Francisco. Contact San Francisco Tower on 120.5 when inbound on the approach. EAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876, did you hear my last transmission?
Oh no, don't tell me that the ATC is gone again. Oh great.
Tower on 120.5 AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876. San Francisco Tower AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876 16 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 19er left approach circle to land runway 10 left.
AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876 San Francisco Tower. Altimeter tree 0.2 wind 281 at 4. Cleared ILS runway 19er left approach.
Cleared ILS runway 19er left
Oh, now it
approach
works again. Okay.
AAL555 Alpha Alpha 9er 876.
Okay. Glide slope is above, that's good. Flaps 1, ready to catch the glide slope. We are on the localizer. There it is, yes. And now we need flaps 1. There's our glide slope capture at duet in 15 miles. 5,000. Ah, there's the glide slope and there's the localizer. Oh, I can see the runway. Ah, okay. We are 10 miles out. There is the glide slope. It's the approach. And the guy is still way too fast. I cannot do it manually. You cannot do it automatically. You have to do it manually. Usually at 130, something thereabout. Let's put the gear down. Okay, seatbelt signs are on. This is on. Flaps 3. Approach phase is activated. Localizer captured, but not the glide slope. Glide slope is captured. Flaps 2, gear down. Going to let the autopilot in for a while. Going to leave the... Oh, what was that? Wow, another freeze. That's still an issue with this hardware. Interesting. Okay. Then I think that's a sim problem. Okay, get tailwind. Getting rocked really hard here. Okay, then let's try.
500.
Never managed to land the LVFR A319 properly.
400.
Always ended up in a disaster. And these conditions don't make it better.
200.
Way too low. Doesn't sink anymore. Okay.
60. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard.
That was very weird. It suddenly didn't sink anymore. It kept revving the engines up.
555 Alpha Alpha Niner 876 contact ground on 121.8.
121.8 L555 Alpha Alpha Niner 876.
Again, not possible to land this. I really love flying this plane, but so far I wasn't able of landing this properly. Okay, I'm going out here now. That's probably wrong. But okay. Welcome to a very ugly San Francisco. Oh, we aren't there yet. And flaps full.
2000.
Okay. Low. Takeoff, no slides on, no slides on. This is all okay. Cabin check. Let's see if it can do an auto land. Between 400 and 300 we should see a land here.
400.
Yup.
$300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Retard. 5. Retard.
Reverse us out. Deactivate the autopilot. Yes. I need 3 hands. Again, I cannot control the wheel. Yeah. No, I cannot see the instruments. This is not very good. Okay. Ooh, wow. Somebody left something on the runway. Okay. Way better than I did it in the LVFR. That's for sure. Okay, this is where we ended up. I didn't really pay attention. I looked at something. Yeah, never mind. Welcome to San Francisco. I leave the plane here. This isn't really probably the most important part of this. But yeah, the flight was pretty typical. Very nice to look at. The plane sounds nice and looks nice, but it's very weird to handle it. Again, the weird stuff at the landing that I didn't expect. Yeah, I hop over to explain, and then we do the same flight there, and let's see what that looks like. Although I have to say, it's it looks really, really, really nice. Like the foggy, hazy. Wow. They really got this optical stuff down. Okay, then I talk to you in a sec. Okay, never mind. Close enough. Park brake on. Don't really know if that works because the park brake, yes, it did. Okay, then let's... Now you won't see an available external power. This is why you use your plug-in. And then you use your ground services, and then you turn on the external power, and you turn on the chokes. And then you can use the external power, and then you can turn the engines off. And then you can turn this guy off, and you can turn this guy off, and you can turn this guy off, and you can turn, oopsie, this guy off, and this guy. And then you can even turn the seatbelt signs off. And the fuel pumps. Okay. Then again, welcome everyone to San Francisco. Where I this time managed to position myself properly at the gate. What can I say? I think this flight showed primarily that a flight simulator is a lot nicer to look at. LA looked better, San Francisco looked better. The clouds, weather effects, like it was a pretty stunning flight with this one mountain coming through the clouds in the flight simulator. But here, everything is pretty flat. You see the lighting is very, very flat, very not that great, but have to keep in mind the buildings and all that stuff, that looks better in my opinion here. This photogrammetry building stuff in Flight Simulator, where the buildings then, if you zoom in from a great distance, just become some, I don't know what, crumbled paper or whatever. And that's better here. But everything else, it's better in Flight Simulator. The plane itself, however, is of course, it's way better than the LVFR A319. Again, not really a fair comparison, but it's the only A319 that we have here, and the LVFR is the only 319 we have in the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Again, they do the same trick with the A21. So, yeah. If you want to have a A20, it's also available in X-Plane. It's from Flight Factor and Ultimate. I don't know if this is ported to X-Plane 12 yet, but it will be. Pretty sure of that. Again, this A319 is really, really, really good. Really good. Next up, we're going to compare it to a plane that is on the same level in Flight Simulator. And I see you in Lisbon, Portugal next.